Ruiz for Regular News here in the city of Sadjo, California, catching up with super welterweight, super middleweight contender Diego Pacheco. You got a Schedule 5 very important fight against a tough opponent, undefeated opponent, Kevin Sadjo on December 13th. How are you doing, Diego?
I'm doing good, man. I'm here back in LA doing my training camp here back home, and feeling great, man. Just finished sparring 8 rounds. We still got a couple weeks left in camp. So I'm feeling good, man. Excited to be back here home. Like you saw, I have my parents, everyone here with me. So it feels great to be back and putting in all the necessary work to come out victorious December 13th.
Is that what you were missing now that you're a family man? Being close to home, being close to your parents?
Definitely. Well, I grew up really close to my family, my parents, my siblings, everyone around me. When I turned 21, I decided to go to Washington.
Yes.
And now 3 years later, I'm back, and Washington was great to me. I feel like I became a man out there. I became a dad, became a husband, all the above. So now to be back here home and put the same work in, have my people close to me and motivating me, it feels great, man. I feel like this is the perfect time for me to be back home, and like I said, just ready to keep taking over.
You're a proud girl dad now, see?
Of course, proud girl dad. My little baby, I gotta go pick her up right now. My baby, she's my world, yeah. So putting in all the necessary work to make sure my daughter has the best life.
Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Eddie Hearn and his matchmakers, they're matching you up to get you ready for the world title belt, man. It's getting you inching closer and closer every time I fight. Another undefeated opponent. You had the likes of Steven Nelson, you had the likes of Sean McCollum, undefeated opponent. What makes Kevin Sadjo such a dangerous fighter for you against you?
I think Kevin Sadjo, what makes him a great, dangerous opponent is that he's also undefeated. He's also a knockout puncher. He's also a hell of a fighter, a former Olympian. I could go on and say good things about him. He's a great fighter. That's why we chose him. I feel like now I'm in the stage of my career where I want to be tested. I want the fans to be excited about my fights. I want people, when they hear my fights and who I'm going to fight, I want them to get excited. And I feel like with this fight, that's what we're doing. Kevin Sadjo, he has a better record than I do. He has more knockouts than I do. He's obviously has more experience. He's older than me. But I'm looking forward to the challenge. I think I'm a special fighter, and these are the fights where I get to show that.
We'll let the fire truck go by. another typical day in LA, ladies and gentlemen. So this is no biggie over here.
Yeah, it's regular.
Do you think Kevin Sadjo has faced better opposition than you have?
I don't think so.
Right.
I think I've faced a better opposition.
You guys have one opponent in common, Jack Cullen.
One opponent in common, yes. Jack Cullen. And I honestly feel Jack Cullen was kind of controlling that fight until Kevin Sadjo knocked him out to the body with a body shot. But other than that, any other guy on his resume really isn't any important name. You can say the same thing about the people on my resume, yes. But I feel I have more undefeated fighters on my resume, right. And at the end of the day, that don't matter. Right? December 13th, the best man gonna win, and I feel that's me. I feel I was made for this. Since I was a kid, I've always been one of the most special kids in the gyms, no matter what gym I went to.
Your height, your reach,
my height,
power.
My reach, my personality, everything. People come around me and they like me. So I just do my best to be a good person and to be a better fighter.
You've been a natural in front of the camera ever since you turned pro, and you were chosen by Matchroom Boxing as a teenage prospect, man. And the LA fight fans, they have seen your growth all throughout your fights. How does your mindset change now that you are a headliner for all of those Matchroom boxing shows?
Honestly, man, it's very humbling. As a kid, I've never even dreamed of headlining. I dreamt of becoming a champion, but I didn't know of all the things that came with it, like headlining shows, doing the promotion for the shows, doing interviews like this.
Thank you for making yourself available.
All these things are the things that I didn't think about as a kid, but to be here and to be going through this whole process and to see my parents proud, them telling me that they're proud of me is a great feeling, and it only motivates me to keep going. like Kobe said, job's not finished. You know,
Right.
we got to keep working, we got to keep grinding, and obviously keep our feet on the ground.
A lot of variables in the middleweight division. Now the king of the food chain is Mr. Terrence Bud Crawford. You guys don't know what he's gonna do. He may leave 1 or 2 belts vacant, but it could be an elimination bout. It could be a vacant title belt. Mm-hmm. But you got the likes of Lester Martinez against Billy. You got a lot of fighters that you may be fighting in the future.
I would love a fight with Jaime Munguia.
Okay.
I think a fight with Jaime Munguia in LA would be crazy. You know, that could headline at the Crypto Arena.
Right.
And obviously, Munguia is a big name here with the Raza, with the Mexican people in LA. They love to follow him. So I feel like a fight with me and Munguia would kind of cement me as that next superstar coming out of LA.
Have you talked it over with Mr. Eddie Hearn?
Of course.
Is that a doable fight
yes,
for you to be done in 2026?
Definitely. They've been trying to get that fight, but obviously, you know, Munguia went through some things not that long ago that he had to take care of. So that kind of pushed that to the side. But I hear he's back on track now. So I talked to Eddie Hearn, and I went to Philadelphia for the Boots fight. We had a meeting, and I talked to him about my interest to fighting Munguia and Shiraz.
Yes,
and,
you have WBA in-ring champ Jose Resendiz that trains out of this gym, so you never know.
Yeah, me and Resendiz actually sparred here before.
Okay, all right.
And it's great work. You know, I know he's a great fighter. He knows I'm a great fighter, and we're actually gonna spar here pretty soon. He's gonna be back. But like you said, you know, business is business, you know, and if the fight fans want to see that fight, then we'll give it to them.
But just like you said, if you were to choose who that fighter may be, that's going to be a big draw here in LA, it's definitely Jaime Munguia. Two Mexicanos going at it, right?
Yeah, that's what I believe. Munguia would cement me as a superstar, of course, if I beat him.
What if the winner of Martinez and Billy were to decide to fight?
That'd be a great fight for me. I would love to fight either of those two guys. You know, they're both great, hungry fighters, and I feel like with this last fight where they had a draw, I feel like a lot of people now know who they are. I feel like before that, like, they're good names, they're good fighters, but they're not mega fights. Like, they're not big fights, and I
want the bigger name.
Because, and I don't blame them, because I don't consider myself a big name yet either. Right. You know, I know it's steps. You know, there's steps to getting to that level, and I feel like we're almost there. You know, and I like that. And Billy and Lester Martinez, they put on a hell of a show. A lot of people know who they are now, so I feel like that makes for bigger fights when they happen.
That's how millions of viewers tuning in on Netflix, man. That was great exposure.
Great exposure, man. So, you know, my turn is up December 13th. You know, I have this fight with Kevin Lee Sadjo, and hopefully, God willing, you know, we're putting in all the work. Everything goes well. We'll have a really big fight.
You prefer facing shorter fighters or fighters around your height? Or does it make a difference?
It doesn't matter. You know, obviously the game plan is different with every fighter. You know, but I feel like when I fight guys who are closer to my height, I'm a lot more comfortable with throwing those body shots. Okay. You know, when I fought Gallegos, who's close to my fight, body shot. Cullen, body shot. Sulecki, body shot. You know, the shorter guys, it's a little.
They duck a little bit more, right?
Exactly. You know, so it's a little more risky for me to reach all the way down there. But I mean, I have a game plan for all the guys, you know.
Of course, you don't want to disclose that. You gotta let the fight fans view it for themselves come December 13th. Thank you very much, man. Ladies and gentlemen, you got plenty of time. You got about 6-7 weeks to sharpen the iron, man.
Yes, sir.
Diego Pacheco against Kevin Lele Sadjo, December 13th, live on DAZN. Thank you very much.